In this video, we'll take our first step into the passing plays out of the Singleback ace slot formation. Now, I want to run over some personnel with you very quickly, and I typically do not flip this formation. That's just what I do. You can totally flip it if you want, but I like to keep it the way it is because I have certain audibles that I like to audible into Singleback ace from, and I need certain players on certain routes, and we'll get to that later. But just for this video, I want to show you the guys I have on the left side because that's the most important. That's where our receivers are. My deep threat is always going to be on the outside, whether it's a fast guy or a tall guy. That's where your deep threat is going to be. Your route technician, your best route runner, slot apprentice is what we use in this playbook. Or if you have hot route master, just quite simply your best route runner right here. Your best route running tight end on the left, and I'll get to that. I will get to that in another video as to why he is there specifically. And then your second best tight ends on the right. Now, I do encourage you, if you're running this playbook, to have two good route running tight ends, but I really like my best guy in this spot. And the play we're going to be looking at in this video is going to be smash, but I'm going to show you which audibles I set for this formation. Smash is going to be my X audible. I'll leave dive where it is. My LB or R1 audible, I'm going to do vert smash. And my play action audible is going to be PA counter waggle. We'll go over those other passing plays in a separate video, but for now we're just going to take a look at smash. And let's take a look at smash versus zone coverage first. Just run a cover 3. Let me back this up. Give us a little bit more room. Alright, so the defense is in a cover 3. Alright, this is what our route concepts look like. You have obviously the smash concept on the left. This corner route is good against zone coverage the way it is. It gets better if you put it on the hot routed corner route, because this kind of sits, it cuts a little bit harder to the sideline. It doesn't give the defender as much of an opportunity to make a play on the ball. But the only hot routes I usually make is I put the X receiver on a smoke screen because I don't really like that baby curl that's in the play by default. I like my receiver to just stand there. I'll let the zones drift back if they're not in hard flats. And then you want to go ahead and rack that as soon as you get it and make your way upfield. On the other side, we've got a table route and a corner route. So you want to check your flats first. Okay, there's no hard flats. Let's get it out to my halfback. Quite simple. These reads are very, very easy. If they're in hard flats, just wait to make your read. I just put my defenders in hard flats. Now on this left side, it's a hard flat. Wait till that receiver makes that break. You can throw that corner out on either side of the field. If you do want to use hot routes and you like to have that flat corner combination on the right side, but you want the streak flat corner combination on the left side, it's very, very simple. Just flat your tight end, streak your outside guy, and you're good to go. Okay. The other stuff you can do, just if you really want to get creative with it, which I don't do a whole lot of motioning out of this particular play, but you can create sort of like that scissors concept on this right side here. If you motion this corner out over, and then you can take advantage of the post right there. It's not something I do too often, but it definitely it is an option. Since you do have a slot apprentice here, or if you have hot route master, you can also use this this deep crossing route and to create something like this. But what I've seen and what kind of the vibe that I've gotten from running this formation online is that people like to bring pressure against under center. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get that play open since it takes longer to develop. So I do like to quick snap this play in particular against zone coverage. If they are in man coverage, you absolutely want to hot route that corner route to this one. You don't want to leave it on the stock one because it won't get open. Okay. So if this is man coverage, and if you see a look like this, your best option is probably to just drag this receiver. If you fade or streak this receiver, you better hope he gets out of the way quick, because a lot of times he'll end up running into the corner route. Since this is our slot receiver, you can motion him over to the other side of the field to get an unbumpable corner route. But let's just see how it plays out with this route combination, which is something I like to do against man coverage. And you can see that corner route gets wide open. If they have a linebacker or a safety that's not great in man coverage on this right side on your tight end, then of course you have the tight end corner route. Look for your underneath to the drag. And a lot of times people will use the guy that's on the halfback. So if they just forget about this halfback leaking out of the backfield, then, you know, take that as well. Pay attention to where they're using. Just for the sake of example, I'm going to go ahead and motion over this slot receiver. And you can motion him on a post, corner route, whatever you want to do. What I typically do is if I end up motioning this guy, I put my deep threat on a fade. Most of the time, he'll get that outside release on that corner. And if you have a guy that is really, really good at release, sometimes you'll get a beat press animation if they're not shading over the top. If you get a really fast guy and he just outpaces the guy on the corner and there's no safety help, or it's not on the corner, but on the fade, then you can throw that deep. If you want to put this receiver on a corner route, you'll end up having double corner routes on that side if you motion over. So what I would like to do, and like to see you guys do, is to put him on a post. And now when we motion him over, the post flips. You got that scissors concept again, but now it's against man coverage. Pretty self-explanatory. The route concepts are very basic, but we do utilize the slot apprentice / route running abilities of our slot guy in conjunction with motion and a couple hot routes to make it a little bit better against man coverage.